Hey guys, this is Emmanuel Babayaro. You can call me the Godfather. You want that go? You know what I'm saying? This is special delivery. And with me today, obviously, is nobody else than my friend and a guy I like to call my homeboy. You know what I'm saying? Matthew Edafe. And of course, we have a very, very, very special guest for the very, very, very special episode for today for you guys. It's never been this beautiful, you know. I loved to hate him, but now I come to love him so much. You have absolutely no idea. It's your one and only, most controversial, most competent, and very recently, most literate, Sunday Oliseh. A round of applause. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, it feels good to have a Sunday Oliseh in the building. Now there is Sunday Oliseh, there is the Sunday Oliseh, and then there is Skipo, the only person who shed tears for Nigeria.
I have two.
Your own wasn't.
Every time it was the national anthem. We cried, didn't we? No, be honest. We cried whenever it was the national anthem. Because we had the orientation.
Let me deliver my flowers.
Do you know what it means?
Can I deliver my flowers,
Right,
please?
just go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead, man.
I'm just the messenger. Let me deliver my flowers. So, in case you don't know who Sunday Oliseh is, because recently I was surprised when I was asking somebody, you know who Celestine Babayaro is? And he said, no, he's a current player of the Super Eagles. So he doesn't know who Celestine Babayaro is. So, in case you don't know him, won the Dutch League with Ajax. In case you're asking me what that was, the Eredivisie is what the Dutch League is called. In 1997-98 season, that was a very tough year where they moved to the new stadium. And, you know, if you ask every other club
He's
that
rocking
moved to
his
the new
head, so
stadium.
you're right. I believe you because he's rocking his head.
And they won the double that
was gonna doubt
year.
you.
And but not just going about winning the KNVB title, but they won it again. They repeated it to get everybody sure that we did this. It wasn't a fluke. They did it again. First Nigerian to play in the Italian league. Only Nigerian that I know that played for Juventus. And we're talking of the Juventus that have Antonio Conte, Ciro Ferreira, some of the best players that you ever think that played the game of football in Italy. This man played with them. But beyond that, entered the Super Eagles at a time where you have to be a man to play in the Super Eagles. In 1993, you have to be barrel-chested, you have to have sideburns, you have to be tall, you have to be huge. But he came in as a lanky player.
You have to smoke.
I don't know about that. I didn't say
that. At some point, I remember myself as a ball boy, man. As a ball boy, I'll be on the sideline doing ball boys, and when these guys come out, oh man, you perceive it, eh?
First game for the national team, that was the first time I saw a Nigerian goalkeeper score a goal. We beat Ethiopia 6-0. Peter Rafai scored in that game. And a lanky player caught my attention. I was a kid, but it was just different. It was different. Today we'll talk about the deep line midfielder like it's the best, the freshest thing that's ever happened. Before there was Andre Pello, before there was a Junior Panamericano, before there was anybody who played in the deep line position, Sunday Oliseh had mastered the act of playing it. And you could say that Sunday Oliseh came years before its time. Yeah, because if he was playing today, Sunday Oliseh will be worth in the region of between 180 to 250 million pounds.
Don't give the guy a heart attack.
I'm not exaggerating. He's not poor. He's rich. He's very, very successful.
He's very comfortable.
He's very, very successful. His book alone, from what I saw on Amazon, his book is worth $60 million. So he's rich. And then there's got more titles: UEFA Intertoto Cup, the African Nations Cup, gold in 1994, went to the World Cup. There's a whole lot. Sunday Oliseh, I'm going to stretch this. Of all of these achievements, you played, there's no flaws to your game. Defensive midfielder that have more assists than attacking midfielder. What's the toughest opposition you ever played against?
You will be shocked.
Maradona?
No.
Roberto Baggio?
No.
Musi?
Zidane? No.
Eto'o? Zidane?
No.
What's that?
Thomas Hessler.
Eh?
Sure. Thomas Hessler.
We played against Germany in 1998, the one that before Jerry Shakmuka got injured,
No.
the one Ike Sherumu also.
No, it was in the league. It was the most difficult player.
What makes him difficult?
Difficult to hold. A very nice guy, so you don't like hurting him. Difficult to brutalize him because he was an ex-player of Cologne. He was then playing, he was the captain of Karlsruhe. Was a World Cup winning player from the 1990s generation. He's the kind of player that does what, when he wants the ball here, he's little, so his pre-offensive movement already makes it difficult for you to hold.
I agree.
And when he holds the ball, it's very slippery. That's what I'm looking for.
Slippery, I know.
So when he holds the ball, and we were kind of like friends, so you can't brutalize your friends. So.
Did we play against him in the national team?
No, he was not there.
Because I was going to judge you with that.
No.
No, it wasn't there.
He wasn't there.
Okay, I thought it was in the game in 98, leading to the 98 World Cup, the friendly game. But beyond that, let's talk about your philosophy, because there's something about Sunday Oliseh that's different from just about every other Nigerian player. Everything about you still stays the same. What formed your philosophy? This guy, you work with time, your timing is precision perfect.
This year, man they used to call me the German.
Even before you went to Germany?
Absolutely.
No, I was in Germany when we were playing, but they used to call me the German because they say I make them look bad, I don't come late.
He just called me Yeye man.
In
my own show. In my own show, you see, I told you, can you see how he's terrorizing me? In my own show, he called me a Yeye man.
And that's how good he is, that he's allowed to do some of these things. There's no yellow card, there's no red card here.
Thank you, Jerry.
But I'm going to pick something else again. Yeah. I mean, because of the way you played, your movement, your positioning, especially when you're delivering the ball. And thank God they show you special delivery. When you're delivering the ball, there is a particular way you put your hand. You spread your hand like an eagle, and you serve the ball like a tennis player. Yeah. Because I was told that when you play tennis, there's a way you swing your body that decide where the ball goes to. Yeah. What informed that decision? Is it something you were born with, or something that a coach calls you and tell you, Oliseh, because of how you're built, you're lanky, you have to set your body like this and serve the ball from under?
No, it's something I learned from the streets of Lagos. When we were growing up, you try out a lot of things.
Absolutely, I agree.
As a kid, you're trying on the streets, and when I used to play at Pestac, we had this pitch on 7th Avenue, 721 Road, the junction. I was the only young boy who played with the old guys. Then they used to call me Yellow, And we had a lot of these violent thugs and, drug dealers who were around then. But I was their favorites, So those old guys, when they kick me, they say, hey, the wife of Yellow, my deal,
what people don't get to understand, the street teaches you a lot, actually.
Yeah.
The street teaches you a lot because it gives you more than enough time, especially as kids growing up from the ghetto. When you're out there in the street, you have all the time in the world. You keep trying several things. So whichever works, you adapt to it.
Yeah, and you stick to it. You stick to it.
That's what it is, right?
Yeah. But I also had this joy out of giving passes. It's not as if I planned it, but I just liked it. The art of giving passes. I didn't know it was what's going to feed me afterwards.
Because there was this thing that we started saying as fans of the game.
Yeah.
Give Oliseh the ball, run into a market, and we'll find you with the pass.
Yeah.
And when we're playing and we're looking for goal, and we hear the fans saying, we are saying, give us more goal, and Oliseh is on the bench, we don't care whether you want to bring on a striker. Yeah. We don't care who's on the bench, but please bring Oliseh. We know he will find Agawa, he will find Martins, he will find Yakub, whoever is running in front of him, whether it's Yekini. Who helped develop that thing in you? Because there's a role of coaching. Football, we play street football. We all played it. Yeah. But there was something refined about your game in the Junior Panabucano mood, in the Andre Pello mood, Javi and Iniesta short passes, but there was just something refined about your game, and we don't have it anymore. Who developed that part of your game?
The passing side I always had, even when I was in secondary school. In fact, I grew up as a number 10, not as a defensive midfielder, But when I got to Europe, my qualities became polished out of desperation. It's not because I wanted to. Broke kid, Nigerian responsibilities to cater for, but when you come in...
You find yourself in Europe, you don't want to go back. You have to make it.
You have to make it. And the worst part is that as a foreigner, you don't get a lot of help, like, hey, this is how you should do it. No. Yeah. So you have to look at others, how they're doing it. And I was always thinking, I have to find something to do better than the man that's there. He doesn't give the pass, I give it. They can't shoot hard, I shoot. So sometimes you do extra training, and things like that.
It was actually born out of necessity.
Out of necessity.
I agree with him because something did happen, when we came back from the under-17 in 93. You know, I remember when this guy, Andre, a manager then came to take Celestine and Moby to Belgium.
Yeah.
You know, and then that was the first time ever in life I and Celestine were going to be separated, right?
Okay.
Wow.
And then this other guy comes and he said, oh, you know what? Emmanuel convinced Celestine to come to France and you can come with him. We had a drama at the airport. You know, at the airport, it's the first time Celestine would ever be, because I was like his guardian. To this moment, I was his guardian and mentor. And he was crying. I said to him, you know what? You need to go to Belgium. He says, no, I want to come with you. Why are you sending me away? I said, you need to go to Belgium. He says, why do I want to send him away? I said, no, listen. We are from Nigeria. We're from the ghetto. We're suffering.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it is better to have one comfortable person in our family who is in Europe than two uncomfortable people sitting in France and the family is still suffering. I am very certain, I am more certain about your venture in Belgium with Anderlecht than I am going to France. Because this guy, you are the catch going to France, not me.
True.
And there's this uncertainty there. He looks at me, I say, so you know what? You need to go to Belgium. He refused. At the end of it, I said, you know what? You have to go or else we'll all die of hunger. So he went to Belgium out of necessity as well. So I totally concur with what.
What a choice, because I didn't know the lad, but I met him because when he went to Anderlecht, he was in the same club like my junior brother, who was in Anderlecht. But I saw him play, and well, it's in the book.
That's Celestine you're talking.
This guy was so good. He's a guy who used to try us. You know, the guys who used to win most of the duels in the team were Uche Okechukwu and myself. Celestine provoked duels with us on a daily basis. He was not afraid. And
with his height,
Celestine would still fight for the ball in the air with me and Uche. Sometimes he wins it and then he says, I catch you. You know, things like that. But he's a likable guy, you know.
Yeah, he
and
is.
Likable. He makes the jokes in the right time, but when it's time to be serious,
I'm a good mentor.
the young man is
I
I know he wouldn't like that. He wouldn't like that. I'm a good mentor.
On that, I
is
agree.
that is Celestine's
But then you
qualities.
just talked about Celestine, and then you mentioned one player that I love so much. If there was the position for my second favorite, Uche Okechukwu will get that because of his personality.
Giant,
You know, he doesn't need to enforce it. You just know that this guy is got your back. So the way, when I played football, I'm not good at marking. But I want to be sure that the guys behind me have got me. And I don't like wasting their football. They work very hard. The Mark Wadibofo gets the ball and puts it on my side. I shouldn't go there and give it to the opposition just like that. I shouldn't turn it over. He will always tell me, I'll give you the ball, but you don't win a far away, you give us advantage, or you cross the ball well. You know. So that's the way I always saw it. But then, there's also times where coaches come in and decide to adjust the team. And they put in some players that don't click with you. And in your head, you're saying, oh, wow, we'll play this game. Do you have special pairing? People, when you see them on the list, like, wow, this game is done. This game is cooked.
I know you wouldn't like to hear this, but I always loved it when I had that speed racer, Babangida, in my team.
Wow.
On the Super Eagles was always great to have Baba Yekini in my team because he makes the art of assist easy because he makes very good runs, very smart runs. He was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
You know, because he was a player that most people don't know, but Rashidi doesn't enter too much into offsides.
No, he doesn't.
Because of his pre-run. Strikers run like this, Yekini start like this, and I drop it there, and he meets it. So he was already ahead of his time, and his finishing is second to none. No other Nigerian striker can come close. But I think that people like Yekini made me. Baba, I liked playing with Baba, not only because he became like a lifelong friend for me, but he was a player also that he puts on piles of defense on the opposition.
Yeah, it does.
So, and if you're not careful, you need more than one player to cater for him. So
that's the one man who will put the ball on your opposite side and he does a 360 on you and he gets to the ball before you.
So we could say that before we start talking of today's tiki-taka pressing game, Yekini was king of that pressing game, the high pressing himself.
No, he wasn't pressing because Yekini doesn't defend very well.
He was a finisher.
He defended in a way that, like, it's not that he's going to defend to win the ball like today, but he will kind of like tease you to release the ball. Yekini will never watch a defender take the ball and run away, no. But yeah, he was just another one of the misunderstood superstars in our lifetime. So.
You know, one of the most beautiful thing about that particular period that I remember so well was that almost everybody had their trademark.
Yeah.
Almost everybody had a trademark. You knew what Yekini would do at any given time. You knew what Babangida would do.
Exactly.
And I remember quite well, I think the Olympic qualifier against Egypt in Cairo. Ooh. You know, we were 1 goal down, right? And the ball goes to Victor Ikpeba on the left. He pushed the ball in. Go watch that video again. The moment he pushed the ball in, we didn't even wait for him to strike. We were already jubilating. Did you see his hand? Did you see his hand?
I was playing with him in the
It was a certainty. It was just going to be in the net, nowhere else but the net. So everybody had that. Now he, on the other hand, you know, from that defense, the moment there's the way he controls the ball, you already know where it's going. Yeah. And that's why he loves Baba, that he was just saying, because Baba, you put that ball there, forget it, Baba is gone.
He's gone.
I saw you play with practically some of the best players, and most of them have turned out to be great coaches today. Your generation of producers, you played with Zidane. Zidane is a great coach. Antonio Conte, a great coach. I saw your thesis on football development in Africa. I read that and I was like, wow, man, this guy should be coaching. Yeah. Like, if I want to come back again, and
I disagree with you. You should not be coaching.
Now, I'm
totally against that coaching.
But let me finish my line of thought.
Go ahead. I disagree anyways.
If I finish,
there's a difference with coaching and coaching Nigeria. So don't look at Nigeria.
Okay, good. So if I have a chance to get a coach and select my coach, I would like him to coach me because he understands the game and he also reads the play very well. But then there are some players that just make, no matter what tactical setup you set, they just make it difficult. By my books. I'm sorry, there's somebody in this room that would spare me now. But in my opinion, it's Jay-Jay Okocha. Yeah. Like, he's the most gifted player from out of Africa, from this world. But what is it like playing with Okocha?
With Jay-Jay, most people will say he's a difficult player to play with as teammates, as defensive players. But I personally had a way, an understanding with Jay-Jay that made it easy for me to play with him. There was one particular game, I'll share a story with you. There was one particular game we were playing, and Jay-Jay was doing his, his normal thing. And the Nigerian fans were going, they're crazy and things like that. And you see, like Ima was trying to say, in our team, in as much as we disagreed or anything, we had every player in this position was like a king in that position.
True.
And if we had match winners, most of the players could win those games. But when somebody is doing something very bad in the group, the defenders always tell me, Sunday, tell him, And they knew that I was the only one that could say to JJ, my man, release the ball, and JJ will release. But in one particular game, he was doing it, we lost the ball. And the ball was coming, and Taribo was going crazy about it. And then he lost the ball one more time. I told him, my man, hey, I'm tired of running, that kind of thing. He went on the left side, did his dribbling, he lost the ball. I let the man pass. I just let the opponent pass. And they almost scored. Oh, Taribo went crazy. He crossed ahead of me. I had to drag him and hold him and say.
In a game?
Yeah, in
Taribo,
a game.
You joke with Taribo.
Don't play with Taribo. Is one of the most, he wants to win.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Taribo is crazy, fanatical about winning.
Absolutely.
You see the stairs in this hotel?
Yeah.
Going up and down. When we come to camp here, after training, everybody's in the room. You know what Taribo is doing? He's running those stairs. We used to call him Weary.
In Flying Eagles, sorry to cut you, but in Flying Eagles, the same thing. When we were in camp, that was
James Peters?
Yeah, that was Taribo's first time. Now, James Peters was horrible. Like, he will drill you. You almost die. Yeah. Now, guess what? When we were done training that's in Otta, at, I think that was Volkswagen, right?
Yeah,
That's where we trained. We trained at Volkswagen, and we stayed at Obasanjo Farms in his hotel.
No.
Yeah.
Now, you see that distance.
The opposite. You played at Obasanjo's, trained at Obasanjo's hotel, stayed at Volkswagen.
Okay, good. Now, but you see the distance. Guess what? No matter how difficult that training went, when you were done, we get in the bus to go back to camp. Taribo is down in the bus, jumping behind the bus.
I never knew this.
Yes, you were not in camp with us on the training.
Yeah.
On the training was my first thing with him.
How do you do that? Is that not overloading?
No, it's ambition.
Taribo was ambitious.
Very ambitious.
He was ambitious. And
that was the secret behind his career.
Yeah, that's why I really like and respect him a lot. But in that instance, when that happened, we just then we all went at Jay-Jay, And in the dressing room, we made everything right. But the great thing about this team was that the moment the game was over, we had won. Who did you see in Taribo's arms? It was Jay-Jay. So
So there was this thing unique about Jay-Jay. So this is you on the field, me, I'm the fan, the eagle eye watching, and there's this thing Jay-Jay always does. So Jay-Jay could conjure magic with the ball. It was like Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
It was a sorcerer. It was everything on the field. But then something does happen in the game. Jay-Jay will lose the ball and he will spit, he will be laughing.
No, Jay-Jay was not laughing.
He wasn't laughing, exactly. Most people don't know
that's
that.
how it felt to us.
It's not as if I'm trying to be his
you're
lawyer.
Right. Most people don't know that. He wasn't laughing.
Jay-Jay has a kind of a mouth that even when you think he's laughing.
It's like an expression on his face and you think he's laughing.
Believe me,
it's true.
He's not laughing because he might be sometimes very sad and he looks like that.
Very true.
Wow.
Very true.
But Nigerians didn't know it. And in fact, anybody who was watching
they say he lost penalty and he was laughing, but he was not laughing.
He wasn't.
He dare not.
So let's bring it to the
We had businessmen in that team, I mean, our training was business. Like you lose the ball sometimes and a Mokachi will face you and will lash out at you. Or this man, Mr. Commander. Mr. Commander here, we rain on you. So you couldn't just lose the penalty.
You want us to lose match bonus?
Exactly.
Let's come to this generation of players.
Yeah.
I studied the Brazilian football team, and lately I started studying the Spanish and the German teams.
Yeah.
Now, historically, the German football revolution for me started in 1990. Not like they've not been playing football before then, but something just happened after they won the 1990 World Cup, and then it was about developing their league, reproducing after their kind. Yes, they're not going to produce another Klinsmann, but then there's going to be Mola that's coming in, there's going to be Miroslav Klose, something similar. Is there anybody in the current Eagles team that remind you of yourself? That you look at and you say to yourself, this is me?
I like a lot watching Ndidi play.
Wilfred Ndidi?
Yeah, Wilfred. I like watching him play. Not because I gave him his first national call-up, not at all because of that. But I like his style of play because, you see, one thing about playing a defensive midfielder or playing the role of a goalkeeper or the central defenders is that to do your job well, you have to work for others. The goalkeeper doesn't have time to show skill.
True.
He has to stop the others. The errors others make, the goalkeeper is correcting. The central defenders, defensive midfielder, you're always running for others. So anybody playing those roles, you must be selfless as a human being to play it well.
In our own way, goalkeepers will say you must be crazy as a goalkeeper.
Goalkeepers are crazy because they are always alone.
Alone, yeah, I understand.
They train alone. They go to physical training alone. They have their own. This is how we joke in football. They have their own coach.
That's true.
So we are always like, man, go meet your coach. I really was, So, but the point is, I like Ndidi a lot. I find him very, very good. But there is one player at the moment now that I had wanted to bring him in. In fact, my PA, who is here at the moment, he remembers that. I wanted to bring him in just before I resigned as coach of Super Eagles. And I'm happy to see him now finally doing his thing.
Who's that player?
Osimhen.
Nigeria Samuel Eto'o.
No.
And
he can be better.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, to me, Samuel Eto'o is a great African player, but when I look at Osimhen, I always tell myself, man, this boy is a beast.
Yeah.
Giving him time and proper coaching, he could match any of the greats coming out of Africa.
Yeah.
He's good. Very, very good.
Yeah.
But then I want to do a matchup a bit. There is N'Golo Kante. 2 years ago, I was practically ready to put my neck on the slab and say that Wilfred Ndidi is the best defensive midfielder in the whole world. And you're like, oh, you're exaggerating, you're saying this. But I've seen him in key games. One of the things that got you to my attention was the battles of the big games.
Yeah.
Because as a footballer, so I grew up in the streets of Warri, and the way we play in Warri is like, when somebody's marking you and they want to give you the ball, Like, if when Oliseh is marking me, people will say, oh, boy, run, oh, he did your back, man or you. But if maybe the other person that is marking me is not on the level of Oliseh, I'll be like, give me the ball, this one, and I put it there, this one, not reach. You understand that?
I understand what you're trying to do.
Now my wife, now my wife.
Exactly, yeah.
That expression. But you can't have a dead Moro, a Domo Okara marking you, or a dead Moro, and you utter that out of your mouth. Then you go visit the doctor.
Yeah.
Your career might end.
Yeah.
But then there are some people who's marking you, give me the ball, I don't see anybody here.
Yeah.
So you look at Wilfred Ndidi, N'Golo Kanté, this young man playing for AC Milan that gives me joy all the time, Franck, Kessié, all playing in the same position. You are a coach and you have a blank check, but you can only sign one. N'Golo Kanté is a World Cup winner, Premier League winner. You are not a Nigerian, so there's no sentiment with Wilfred Ndidi. But you need to pick a player that fits your style of play. Who are you going for?
What club am I coaching?
Say you're coaching the biggest club in the world. You're coaching Real Madrid.
Okay. I'm going for Kanté.
Why? His ball distribution is faulty.
I played that role. The most difficult job on that, the most difficult thing in that role, which I'm not going to share with you, I'll share with my players and my son.
But you need to tell me.
No, but the most difficult part of that job, doing that job, Kanté does it better. The most difficult of that job, the role, it's the most important thing you have to be able to do in that job. Kanté is the best doing it in the world.
Can we know that?
I think I can guess.
I don't need guessing. I need the master to tell me.
No, when I guess, he's going to tell us, right?
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I pray you guess.
Now, there's one unique thing about N'Golo Kanté. I was also going to go for N'Golo Kanté anyways.
Really?
Yes, and the reason is simple. No matter what happens, N'Golo must touch the ball. He must spoil your attack. Ndidi likes to win the ball and distribute. But N'Golo, no matter what you do, he has to intercept. He has
destroy.
And he did it. That's why I know he was going to go for N'Golo, because it's same style when it comes to marking. They have to distort that ball. So your finishing is never going to be the same crossing. They must touch that ball. That's what I think, anyways.
It's close to it. It's in the same vein. Okay, like football in the center.
Yeah.
You can have one-on-one, and you can negotiate. If you're playing that role, you must be ready that sometimes I will have 2 players I have to cater for. Sometimes I will have 3 players I alone have to cater for, because a Jay-Jay Okocha is not coming back, he's tired, or because we are getting a counter-attack. Now, how do you stop? That's where what he said is right. How do you now stop them from having a free goal at the central defense? You must touch that ball. You must disturb them one way or the other. You must do something to delay these 3.
Absolutely.
So that the others must come
N'Golo
back.
does that better.
And that's where I think a coach can help Ndidi. The little techniques and the tactics you can use. Which of these 3 do I rush to? Which of them do I wait for? How do I position to make sure that the ball does not come to the middle, it goes there? And Kanté is extremely good at it, and that's why France won the World Cup.
You talked about bringing Osimhen
Yeah.
to the national team. Of all the strikers you've seen in the world, who's that person that Osimhen reminds you of the most?
Osimhen is rash, no? It's Rashid. It's Rashid in kind of a way. A bit gangling in a kind of a way.
Stature-wise.
And there's something he does better than Rashid, which is very rare for a Nigerian striker. That's the aerial ball. Every time I send the ball to Rashidi to head, especially when I get to know him, I will send it to him for him to head it. The man will jump even higher than I sent it.
He loves to keep the ball on his chest first and then finish.
But initially I didn't understand. Then I understood one thing as we started training together, that he doesn't trust his head in so much, so he doesn't know if he can put it well. He prefers to bring it down, and he's finishing with the foot.
Oh, yeah.
Inside, outside, instep. Very good. Now, if you look at Osimhen, what I like about him is that since Rashidi stopped with the national team, our potency offensively just dropped.
Yeah, I agree.
And the strikers we brought in to take over number 9 have been strikers that
struggling.
That struggle or like to play with their back to the goal and are not that. Rashidi cuts.
They're not very direct, yeah.
Rashidi cuts.
But you know that era of Rashidi kind of strikers gradually fade away with the Jimmy Floyd Asoba. The Drogba came in and made us understand that to be a great striker, you have to play as a lone striker. Yakini's time, you have two strikers. There was Yekini, there was Siasia. And then Amokachi came in and invented a role that was never in existence. Maybe Paulo Rossi or so, but it was 8.5 as far as I'm concerned. I don't know if I'm right, but I mean, you see the game better than I do. Yeah, Amokachi, I tell people that Amokachi make it easy for an Okocha, for instance, to lose the ball and we'll still have somebody who has an extra engine to fight in the midfield and still go up attacking.
Amokachi made it easy for me to work.
So when you look at these people, and everybody's overwhelmed. Everybody's overwhelmed.
I know why he's trying.
Like
he's trying to finish.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah,
you don't understand.
Yeah,
you don't
visualizing.
understand. Sunday Oliseh was.
I told you we're an hour for star. You see?
Yeah,
Come on, man.
I agree. This is Sunday Oliseh. This is the man. Like
This is Emmanuel Babayaro. This is the man. Come on, man. Cut me some slack here, man.
Man, you are great now, but you are his friend. You are his friend now.
So there was this game. We all agreed that if we lose this one, not be big deal. I mean, this is Spain. This is Spain that have the La Pen.
Hero.
No, before the game.
That's
I'm
what I
talking
mean.
before the game. The average Nigerian, I'm not talking of the Super Eagles players, because Super Eagles players have gotten to a place where they feel like they are warriors, they are unbeatable, we are mad. But the fans could accept it and say, no problem. We played against Spain. And Raul, they scored. Zubizarreta, we equalized. Then Sunday Oliseh did something he's not used to doing. You pass, you break play, scoring goals, and Sunday Oliseh, we're not in the same book. How did that happen? Talk us to the goal.
Because you are not watching the league games now. At Ajax, I scored loads of goals.
Yes, I saw those
At
goals.
Cologne, yes. But with the national team, the workload defensively is so much that you have to measure how you go forward. And before we played Spain, there was disarray in our camp. You saw it in the book. Disarray. We were losing all kinds of friendly games.
Yeah.
You know, we're being humiliated. We got humiliated in my own stadium, Ajax Amsterdam, 5-1.
5-1.
They beat us really well. And my teammates of Ajax, who we used to make jokes in the dressing room, were in the other opposing side. So we lost. I was thinking, how will we come back to the dressing room next year? You know? And we had to play this game. So I had to decide, not the coach, I had to decide, how do we handle the Spanish threat?
Yeah.
So the first thing that came to mind, okay, like always, sacrifice yourself. Defend more and venture less forward. So all through the first half, I was venturing, I was just staying back. In fact, the only thing I did in the first half that was almost like going was I tried to lob Zubizarreta from almost like 40 meters.
Yeah, I remember.
That was the only one. I just
Yeah.
tried it once. That was the only thing I tried forward. But as the game went on, the Spanish were very arrogant. They were very arrogant to us. And these were people that we were beating at club side. Now, because we are losing friendly games, we come in the corridor. Even Hero, who I did the Adidas advertisement with just some weeks before, they even say hello to me. You know, you just walk past. Oh, like, Jesus, I'm so bad. You know, so, and you know the Nigerian man, we can be whatever you call us.
We get swag.
When you tell a Nigerian, you can't.
Yeah.
Watch me do it.
Oh, then Nigeria goes, watch
Absolutely.
me do it.
Watch me do it. I
Watch
do it
me
with
do it.
style.
And the thing that was that as the game was going on, I was looking for my chance. It's the World Cup. I had to find one. And at that time, I was at the best of my career when it comes to shooting. I had developed it so good with Ajax because I had opportunities to train at Ajax with it. Baba used to stay around. Baba was doing, his pull-outs.
Yeah.
And I was doing finishing. So all through the season. So when that game come up, all I was thinking was, I need one chance. One chance. Never did I know that it would be at the 78th minute. 7 + 8 is number 15. So
Now it's philosophical.
No, I'm telling you what one woman was telling me.
Okay.
One Nigerian woman told me,
maybe one prophet.
Can you
Maybe one
imagine
prophet will
78th
come
minute?
scam you.
No. Just a lady who was excited with it.
Okay.
78th minute, man. 7 + 8. Your number 15. It's testing. And it never left me. So when the ball was coming, it was just the same thing like we used to do at Ajax.
Yeah.
That was keep your head low, swing, go through the ball. And you know when God wants to bless you, He does it in a marvelous way. The ball went better than I shot it.
Absolutely.
So
It's
all I wanted to do was put it in the goal. The ball went so hard, he even touched it. Huh? He touched it with his fingers. But that's when God said, and he touched the goalpost as he entered. So it's.
Can I chip in here a little bit, my brother?
It's your show.
See the way you just turned. As I said, can I chip in? See the way you just asked, okay, make I face you.
No, because I want you. I'm interested.
No. Actually, one of the things I had when I might know some things, but the viewers don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's always this thing that has been constant about you and your career, leadership.
Yeah.
Even all this while I was listening to you, all you keep talking about is taking responsibility. That is leadership.
Thank you.
It means from a long, and that was why we hated you before they say thank you. We
I
hated
know,
you for
I know,
it.
no.
I hope you don't say when would they play. Most of us don't like you. We say we would this already. You just want to be leader. You just want to lead us.
They let us quarrel.
Yeah, because the man does not take crap from nobody. This is someone that even the way you dress, if you dress in a rascal way, this man can talk to you. Say, my friend, go and dress well.
Don't reveal my secret here. Now, I want for you.
Okay, make that go. No, but the truth is, what informed that line of thought, that ambition, that dream, as in of taking responsibility, becoming a leader? Because you've always taken that position from as far back as I've known you.
That's true.
And even from everything you're saying here, it's all about taking responsibility, taking charge. Even when you fall or even when you win, you take responsibility. How far back?
You're very right, because it's cost me a lot of problems. It's cost me a lot of problems, but it's cost me 20% problems, but it's given me 80% a great life. The leadership comes from the fact that I believe is that I'm very demanding on myself. I am never happy with
anything less than.
No, even when we win, I still blame myself somehow. You know when they were. Let me share one secret with you. You remember that day when I got 2 yellow cards, and we had to play, we had to play Brazil, without me. Yeah. And one of my colleagues said something to me. I don't want to call his name. He said to me, "Jesus Christ, how we go do Brazil now? You don't collect card." Damn.
Hit everything on you again.
Yeah, and I was bad in my room with and I was thinking all about it. Jesus, it was as if I let the team down.
Wow.
But the yellow card was not as if you put somebody's jersey. It was trying to save somebody from going to our goal. But that tells you how our team worked.
Yeah.
So when we got to the game, and the guy who was playing, who I was supposed to be keeping quiet during the game, Conceição, was the one who was killing us 3-1. You know what Bonfere did now? He looked at me on the bench like this. That even made it worse.
He doesn't have to say a word. Yeah.
I was saying, it was like...
See your life?
No, you see
what you do.
The guy. But what could I do, So when we scored the 4-3, you couldn't stop me from entering the pitch, man. To hell with it. Give me a red card. So it's all like that. I feel like I have to help others, But God is so kind, it came back to me. Like you're helping others, but you get it back.
All right, so Sunday Oliseh, the player, your limitless conversation.
Yeah.
Then you became a coach. I wasn't surprised because you saw the game different from how other people saw the game when you were playing. You read the game very well. But then there's a player that I also came to fall in love with as a Nigerian, Mikel Obi.
Yeah.
Played 2001 at the under-17. It was a sparking light. We lost that to a toss of coin. 2005, it was a shining star on the same pedestal with Messi. But then went to Chelsea and became a defensive midfielder. But then for Nigeria, it's an offensive midfielder. How does that move, interchanging of position, conflict with the player's mindset when he's playing? As a coach, what do you have to say about Mikel Obi and his style of play?
Well, he's a player who's done some good with Chelsea. But when you're talking about playing Marseille, he's not an offensive midfielder. Yeah, an offensive midfielder is, well, my man here knows me well. He knows me well enough that I'm blunt to say the things when it comes to it.
Agree.
Offensive midfielders have certain qualities. He doesn't have any of it. So you can
creativity.
You can't be an offensive midfielder. And but as regards defensive midfielder, I think he's useful. But I wouldn't play him.
Why would you play Mikel Obi?
I wouldn't play him. I would play Ndidi. Because a defensive midfielder's work is you have to win balls without making fouls. You have to win, you have to be able to be very good in aerial balls. You have to be a player that is, you have to have some control. You have to help others, you know. And the thing was, when I coached the Super Eagles, I invited the man. There were a lot of controversy, and it's easy when you are somebody that's principled, instead of saying that's your decision, they try to link it to controversy. I invited the man to play with the Super Eagles. He didn't want to play. So I was like, okay.
Wow.
We'll find another option, He was not the only one. But at the time, Nigerians, our press now, they all, out of the fact that there was one particular time, like I said in my book, I was loved by Nigerian press until 2001, and I said, no. You can't be attacking my teammates, killing everybody in the newspaper, calling us tired legs. Now the team decides. You don't come into the dressing room anymore. Oh, he's this, he's arrogant. But then, that is how I see it. I would prefer to play someone like Ndidi than to play him.
Let's go further into your life now. This book, I read this book, I got to the end, and I said I want to go back to the beginning again.
Oh.
I don't do too many books like that.
Thanks.
Chris Okocha's book is one of them, Apocalypse. And then there are a few books that do
I
me
actually
that.
have not done any book in more than 10, 15 years. This is the first.
I do a lot of books.
I'm telling you.
In my line of job, you have to read.
Thanks.
This book.
In my line of job, I don't have to read.
People don't have to read.
What's going on here today? Why? Are you with me or are you with him?
If you admit that in 10, 15 years you've not read, then in your line of job, you don't need reading.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. I'm telling you.
Don't kill you.
But in this book, you extrapolated a lot of things and it showed Oliseh more than just a coach and more than a football player. There are many sides to Oliseh. Yeah. And I was privileged to see you work for FIFA, the highest body of football, as a director, wearing that blue pine stripe suit, looking all clean. And that feeling
I don't look clean normally.
No. What I'm saying is, you see your hero at the very highest level.
Yeah.
What are the other things that Sunday Oliseh do, apart from kissing your daughter goodnight, talking to your family? What do you do? I mean, you find time to write a voluminous book like this. Yeah. What are the other things that you do?
Well, I consult. That's what I do. I consult both written, and I also have sometimes clubs who engage me to analyze what their goals and good and problems are without consulting their coach. You just do it and you get recognition for it. I travel a lot. And in fact, coaching the Super Eagles was one of the best things that happened to my life.
Really?
Yeah. I had always been he's teasing me and laughing at me that you're too serious to do that. I've always been like that, But when I felt sick, coaching Super Eagles for a second time, the first time I felt sick was 2000 Nations Cup.
Yeah.
And I had to come out of the sick bed for the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
When I felt sick as a coach, when I caught the virus mumps.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
That drove, and I saw for the first time the eyes of my wife and my son. Fear, where I'll be sleeping and my son will come when I'm not aware. He wants to see if I'm breathing.
Wow.
That's when it struck me like, hey, you've been football. You've not really been enjoying the life. So from 2015, man, I just told my wife and my kids, we start now. The first thing is, let the coaching rest first. Let's start having a good time. I started enjoying the weekends, started taking the kids out, started doing things, started traveling the world. So I've practically been living now, and I'm really having a blast doing it. If I had died then, I wouldn't have seen some of the things. One of the things I wanted to see was NASA in Florida. I took the family of kids. We all flew there.
I've seen that one too.
It's great, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Adrenaline.
The adrenaline, all over. So, all these kind of things, that's what I'm doing now.
The man is a white man now.
Oh, my brother.
Would you go skydiving, bungee jumping?
I do like life. I've been Nigerian.
I've done those too. Okay, so if anybody is going to the shop to buy this book, Audacity to Refuse. Yeah. I read Audacity of Hope. I read Audacity to Refuse. I was thinking if I was writing the book, Sunday Oliseh, I dare to say it as it is because that's how I see the book. When I read it, that's the title I gave it to it. I dare to say it as it is. Where can anybody get this book?
The books, it's possible to get it on Amazon. I'm glad you were able to put it on it. It's possible to get it from reunite bookstop here. Latana bookshops also in Nigeria carry it, you know. You can also get it from my website. That's when it could be dispersed to you and all that. So
What's the website again?
It's sundayoliseh.tv.
All right. The Minister of Sports, the Honorable Minister of Sports, Sunday Dare, put out a tweet that you have been invited to set a roadmap for the 10 years development plan of Nigerian football.
Yeah.
And you're privileged to be in that committee alongside my hero,
MON.
Mentor, rapper, songster, godfather.
What can I say?
It's
my time.
What are you people?
1 second of fame.
What are you people going to put in that report that can make Nigerian football just as good? Not even the EPL now. We're not looking for that level. Just as good as the Belgian league.
I think I will let the Godfather answer first because he's a member of the committee.
No, you're on the hot seat, not the Godfather now.
Godfather, you're in that committee. There's nothing wrong if you say something.
No. The
truth is, thank you, Jerry.
The truth is, for the first time in the history of this nation, even he said it on that day, this is the first time the assemblage of people of quality and honor in that particular community for me makes the difference. Because these are people you cannot buy. These are people whom you cannot influence, no matter who you are. I mean, the government cannot influence you. The man out there who wants something else cannot influence you, which means we are going to come up with the best we can. I mean, we did talk about it that day. Yeah. I mean, he was very emphatic. You have absolutely no idea how much work this man had even done before he came.
Oh,
he blew off our mind.
Don't reveal all my secrets.
You understand what I'm saying? So I think I think one of the most important things that committee had done to show you how brave it was, very first time, even before we took up the job, everybody looked the Honorable Minister in the face and said, I hope it will count. If it will not count, we don't want to do it.
That's true.
Now, that is the quality of people you're talking about.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, there's a lot to add to it because there's a lot of work to be done. Nigeria's football is, let's face it, it's never been this bad.
It's terrible.
It's never been this bad.
It's terrible.
When we have to, with all due respect, when we have to play Cape Verde to qualify on our home turf, and we have to sit to the last minute, no, something is wrong. When car or boss or what they call them, the Central African Republic come here and beat us, then something is wrong. When our league is dead like it is, something is wrong.
Absolutely.
When the youth production, something is wrong. When we don't longer have Nigerian players playing in the Champions League, something is wrong. When we don't have Nigerian players playing in the Europa League, something is wrong.
When drug is ravaging our youngsters, something is wrong.
When you see that even they make African Player of the Year, and we are not
on the list.
This is something is wrong. So that tells you it's never been this bad. From my point of view, the solution is what? The solution is that if we do anything like we used to do it in the past, we will not make a change.
The world has moved on.
The world has moved on. Football today is no longer what it was before COVID.
True.
So that means football today is no longer what it was 2 years ago. Now, if you want to do something like you did 2 years ago, you will struggle.
The wrong part.
Watch out. In Europe now, a lot of shops are getting bankrupt. Clubs are going to start getting bankrupt because sponsors are going to be bankrupt, so they can sponsor the club. Now, this is a great opportunity, big window for clubs, countries like ours, to now make a break.
Absolutely, I agree.
It's one of the things. There's a lot of things we have to do. My only fear is this. Like he was there when I made it very clear. I will not be part of any committee that is not serious. And what I will do is that I will give my best knowledge because when it comes to my country...
Some of us said, here we go
again. Yeah. when it comes to my country, I am sentimental.
Yeah,
so, I am too.
So I will put my tactics, whatever I feel can help us work there. If you don't want to follow it, I will go home. That's what I said. Because our country needs help.
Sorry, Sunday. My audacious refusal to be a corrupt or bad leader and sabotage my beloved Super Eagles earned me heartache and betrayal.
Yeah. Painful.
What particular incidences?
Oh, there are lots of them, man.
Culminated into this.
The one that pained me the most, that ended up being a great lesson in my lifetime, was 2002. It was
Mali.
in Mali. The World Cup itself.
Okay.
Because, it was easy for me to say, I accept what they were proposing to me behind closed doors, and my teammates to hell with you, and I will go to the World Cup and do all my thing and play. And they will lose a lot of money. They will lose the opportunity to go to the World Cup. And I refused that. But the fact that some members of the group in the team itself ended up even going against what we had agreed as a group, that was painful to bear.
Do you know why I'm shocked?
Why?
Because I've always known this thing went on. It went on. It happened even in
You know
Atlanta
it went
during
on.
the
Why should you be
Olympics.
shocked then?
So I know. I thought you were in on it because you guys were the big boys in the team. In Atlanta, when we were playing, at the end of the day, some of us get the $1,000 for wearing the shoes, but we were very well aware that some people got $3,000 to $5,000.
Now, Ima, this is the thing that is that, look, I always liked you for one thing, but you never knew it. And I'm happy I'm going to say it publicly.
Because I'm almost like you.
I don't have Olympic medal.
No.
Let them have the floor.
I liked you because you used to say it, Sometimes I used to say, man, Matic, and you used to it's, no, I'm not accepting
Wait
that.
a minute. Did you ever say somebody should take it easy? Because to me, Sunday Oliseh says it the way I want it to be said.
No, I am the one who's always saying take it easy. That's what you guys don't know because, it's always like fighting. No, you have to, in Atlanta, we're separate.
Yeah.
We're separate. I was separating fights every day in
Yeah,
training.
I know, man.
So that
Because you were very passionate.
Very passionate. Someone say, your mama, hey, man, take it easy now. It was happening. Now, the point there is this, what he just said. When you look at the point of shoes, that 1,500 or whatever, there was one player in the whole Olympics who wasn't wearing Nike.
Yeah.
Who was that?
I'm trying to remember. I remember there was.
He's sitting in front of you.
Sunday Oliseh.
Well, I was the only one. I was wearing Adidas.
Yeah, that's true. You were on Adidas then. Very true. You were on Adidas
when they were
then.
sharing the money for Nike,
So it was without you.
It was without me, but I knew what was going on.
Yeah, because they were receiving more.
Yeah, but the thing there was that, you see,
They came and they gave us
you see,
pittance.
this is one thing. This is why I've always had this, well, I've always kept to myself, is that our colleagues tell too much lies behind against somebody they admire, they want to be like, and they can't be like. And unfortunately, and I'm proud to say, which was in their case, was me at the time. So they were all doing all the crazy things. They said the mafia, but I wasn't even involved. And I didn't even give a damn. Why? I'm going to one of the biggest tournaments in the world. I am used to Adidas shoes for $500. I'm going to risk it with the new Nike shoes. So I was looking at my colleagues, but who am I to influence them? And they were all fighting. This one will get this one will get that. So, sometimes I have to tell them, look, just keep quiet, let's win, But I didn't like it, but that's how it is. And those are the little things behind. You see, even you two can write a book.
I'll try. One of the things, quickly, that I had to highlight here was I love this, and I would like to read it out because I think this is something a lot of youngsters in Africa, not just Nigeria, can work with because it inspired me.
Okay. Thanks.
Yes. And it says, limitations are within our control. And I believe, you believe, not me, and I believe are totally self-imposed, simply serving as a handicap. Mm-hmm. Limitations are within our control, and I believe are totally self-imposed, simply serving as a handicap. Before setting out on a journey, one needs to first decide on the destination. In other words, we need to have some form of vision and mentally picture ourselves already living in our goals and dreams.
True.
I love this.
Thanks, man.
Because I remember it resonated with me because I remember when we were about to play, that was in the under-17, 1993, late Alex Akinyele.
Oh.
Then he would say to us, to be a champion, you must see yourself as a champion.
Yeah. There was in this, when we went to the Olympics, he's my witness. As a group, we did not say we're going to win the gold.
Yeah.
We wanted to do what no Nigerian team has ever done at the Olympics.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to be better than people before us. Now somebody in our group believed we were going to win the gold.
Whoa. I agree.
Bonfere Joe.
Damn.
None of us knew it. And when did I know it? Because I was like his confidant, almost like his assistant coach. You know, and these guys didn't like me for it.
No, at all.
Because the coach can get angry at everybody, but he won't get angry at Sunday. So
he actually always consulted with you
so they were like, how can that be? You know, what's that? But it was because the man saw me as the man who's living by example. So I was okay, imitate him, you know. So the day, you remember the day Brazil beat us 1-0?
Yeah.
We were happy, yeah, we've qualified, you know. And I was happy with him, and he said to me, hot for Dortmund, that's Netherlands for, like, what the hell? And I said to him, coach, our country has never been to the second round. We are going there. He said, Sunday, this was our chance to eliminate our rival to the gold medal. And then I was like, the white man is thinking of gold. And that was when the realization hit me that, wow, he's thinking that we can do it. And we did it.
To be honest, playing Brazil was a very big turning point for us.
That talked about as a man thinking it is not so easy. People always take it like, it's cliche. But it's really not cliche. You can't be what you've not seen in your head. You can't become what you've not pictured about yourself. And when I read this book, I mean, it was beautiful. I love it. But then there's also the flip side. Yeah. I like books from sportsmen. I think therefore I play by Andrea Pirlo. Yeah. I like the Michael Owen book. I like the nastiness of Zlatan. I am Zlatan. The nastiness of that book, because he wrote it like something that I would have written. I love the Cantona one, the Hurricane. But whenever you want to write a book like this as a sportsman, do you fear of the backlash that will come? Because in this book, there are certain things that indict a lot of people. Yeah. Just like the Hurricane, the Roy Keane's book indicted Silas Ferguson, indicted a lot of people. Michael Owen indicted Alan Shearer. Andrea Pirlo indicted Gennaro Gattuso. Said things that when they say player was injured, it was actually Gattuso that used the fork to stab someone in the kitchen and all that. You know, did you have fear that when I write this book, this is my truth, but and Emmanuel Babayaro will be angry, and Okocha will be angry, this one will be angry, and this book will bring backlash? Did you have that fear?
Well, the thing that was that I didn't want to write a book that would be vindictive. Like, for example, we won the Olympic gold, right? The goalkeeper was my roommate.
Yeah.
Some in the group thought I was the reason why he was keeping instead of Emmanuel.
I've heard that story everywhere.
Yeah. One of the people.
Yeah.
I've heard that story everywhere.
One of the people here.
I wanted to ask you earlier on.
Even though the man happens to be one of my best friends today.
Yes, and
we're that close.
I was innocent, you know? And the thing that was that when it happened like that, imagine carrying this weight on your head for years. And this man thinking, I should have been number one because Sunday didn't want me to be. And it's not true, you know? So when I was writing this book, one thing that came to my mind was that I don't want to write a vindictive book. It's not a revenge book. I'm just telling my story. So I decided to think about it. And I had this discussion at breakfast table once with my son and my wife. And I said, look, I'm going to write it in a way that I will talk about the story, but I won't name names. There are certain terms I had to carve out, difficult, like senior players. Like one player refused to stay in a room with the others. Like did this branch. I didn't give a name. We, the players, when they read it, when Emma read everything here, Emma knew everybody I was talking about.
Absolutely.
But you will read it, you know, okay, it was this, but you will never be sure who that is. That's what I had to try to do because I didn't want to also spoil somebody's name because I'm trying to tell my story. But there were some extreme cases whereby I must. Like, for example, somebody asked me recently, you cited the fact that Victor Ikpeba, you know, left you walk in the cold while he was driving home in his own car, you know, in the winter at the time. It's something that I couldn't deviate. It happened, but I couldn't deviate from it because Aloy witnessed it. Aloy Agu came to join us, so he knew. And Aloy was always my pally. We were 3 Nigerians, but it was only me and Aloy alone, you know. You know, coming to eat my place, I cook my egusi soup.
Someone else was involved,
you know, something like that. Someone was also, if you said Aloy, my house come out and say, hey, he's this, you know.
Yeah,
so, okay.
Yeah.
So that one had to be like that. I didn't want to be vindictive, but I wanted to highlight, like them, those who people did not talk much about. If he was not as good as he was, Dosu would never have been as good as he was. Dosu knew. I make one mistake. Emma has taken that.
Not going again.
No.
Let me ask something now. Stop there. Just freeze. You know, this is beautiful what he just said now because there's something I and my brother Celestine has been debating. You know, I just want to get it out now.
Yeah.
Nigeria versus Mexico.
Ooh.
Remember when Dosu was injured?
Yeah.
He got injured the first time, he pushed on.
Yeah.
There was this time he got injured and he motioned to Joe Bonfere. He did this. And Joe Bonfere looked at me. Emmanuel, Coach Musa, sorry, God rest his soul. Musa turned and said, Emma, warm up. Yeah. And I started warming up. I got up, I wanted to warm up. And you went to look after Dosu. The moment you went to look after Dosu, I just came back to the bench and sat down. Coach Musa looked at me and said, Emma, I said you should warm up. I said, Coach, you go continue. No, see, your guy don't go near. Don't go to us, make you get up.
Yeah.
So let me.
No, I did that.
Let me tell you one
I
beef.
did that. I said that. I said, listen. I told Musa, I said, listen. Musa said, Emma, I told you to warm up. I said, Coach, you to warm up. The guy go continue. See, your guy don't go meet. I go continue. You go manage. And in some seconds, Dosu got up. I said, didn't I tell you? But what happened? Because he motioned.
Yeah, no. You see,
He motioned.
I will give you another example. One player, World Cup qualifier, went for a header. He tore his head in Kenya. Pop. And they wanted to change him. And he was bleeding. And he wanted to go out. And I went to him and I said, my man, now do or die, life and death. Now World Cup. If you fit, continue. He got the same situation like this. He went there, took a bandage, finished the game, scored the equalizer that took us to 1998 World Cup. Jonathan
Akpobori, I know, I remember.
So let me tell you another.
All right, I agree. I accept that now. That is clear today. Good. That is clear today.
The leader, on easy lies the head that wears the crown. So he was the leader. But let me tell you another story from Worry that have like enveloped you. And people hate me. Worry as I always say, the best player. Like you be fool, you be a betrayer, like something like that. And this is the reason why. So in 1996, there was 2 key Worry players that would have made the team. Wilson Oruma, my former classmate, and the guy that we all looked up to, Dukudi.
Okay.
Will of the Wiz, fantastic winger. And there was this feeling that Oliseh asked, there's a story, it was a story that came up. Oliseh asked Dukudi to carry his boots to the car, to the bus. And and Dukudi refused. Hold on.
That's not true.
I'm just telling you the story.
I will answer that for him. That's not true. Absolutely
so let me
not
land
true.
with this story. And then Dukudi went
Don't say what you can carve out. They just carve that thing out.
Dukudi went into the box, sat where the captain is, skipper is supposed to sit on, and then Oliseh came and said, "Get up from my seat. You will not be carrying my boots." And then Dukudi said, "They write your name for the seat." And then you said, "Come go the Olympic, we'll see." And then he didn't make it. Hold on, he didn't make it. We all believe that story. Last year during
that's COVID, why you get Dada. That's the way you believe that make you get Dada.
I was born
How
with
can
Dada.
you believe such a story?
But we all believed it because
we
believed in this mafia thing a lot. And then last year, I found the courage to interview Dukudi. Dukudi is bros to us. But I found the courage. Let me ask him. Dukudi, please, confirm the story for me. How true is it that Sunday Oliseh made you not to go to the Olympics?
Yeah.
Dukudi, you know Dukudi the way he talks.
Yeah.
And he was so mad because he said Sunday Oliseh was actually one of the best person to him in all of his national team. That he's not going to the Olympic had nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely
It was his
nothing
own
to do
doing.
with Sunday Oliseh.
Yeah, I heard this story.
I will tell you for free why Dukudi did not make it.
My head exploded. That we've all believed this story. He said, people keep asking him that question, Sunday Oliseh, that look, Sunday Oliseh cannot even make anybody not to make the team. That's not possible. So I know from that, okay, so many stories have been told about people. And that's why when we have this chance, like I say, we'll have you again on this table.
You see Wilson Oruma?
Yeah.
That's why it's in this book. I got phone calls apologizing on Wilson Oruma's behalf because of this. Look, Wilson Oruma, if he was not in that team, we didn't win the Olympics gold. You know when you're talking of MVP of Olympics? It was Wilson Oruma. Read the book.
You're saying it.
No.
Oruma.
I know Wilson Oruma. But
You can't undermine that guy's
listen
football.
carefully. Ask him.
That
In
guy's
the training,
football. Absolutely.
Oruma was playing on the opposing team against me most of the time. I knew in the training, I had to play 100% because he was extra talented.
Oh, the guy was gifted.
There are some people you play against in training, you bring your big game. It's enough. Like you said before, you know. But Wilson, no. because Wilson is unpredictable. And it was his coming in the semi-final that gave us victory. It was his coming in the final. Let me ask one question. The free kick that made us win the final, the goal Aminike scored, who played it?
I can't remember right now.
Wilson Oruma.
Oruma now.
Okay, what's
Now,
it?
so, and Wilson Oruma, that money Ima just referred to, the Nike money. And you say, Wilson, ask him. He was my roommate in a 4-bedroom. You know this 4-bedroom? We suffered. This school when they put us, they sleep for...
For school, they sleep for bunker beds.
Like bunker beds like this. When Wilson was there, they were paying him, short paying, just changing him. He would come to my room. I tell him, I say, Wilson, now Nike money you come here, you can't get. No, leave them in and take Nike money. We know where would they go. And that's how close. Wilson was like a brother to me. So a lot of stories have been like that. Why? I can understand. Like Ima is saying, in as much as I was trying to be the leader, I kept a lot to myself. I don't speak to the press. So people will say the thing because, and I finish, I'm going to Europe. I'm not here to tell stories, you know. So they will all talk. People want to know, what's that Oliseh like? He's like this. The one who doesn't like you, you know, which was a lot because when he comes late, I will tell him, why can you come late? You know players now. Ima was just saying it. They ask us to be there by 10 o'clock. You are coming by 10:05. What the hell is wrong with you?
He will shout at you.
What the hell is wrong with you?
He will talk to you.
Some of us come in 5 to 10. You are coming 10:05. So are we the stupid ones to come early, to come on time? You know those kind of things? And that's why we want things, with all due respect.
I agree. Now that I'm older, I agree. Back then, now we're...
Yes, now we're all young.
And one very funny thing about your book, which I told you the day we met, you know, it's so funny because most of us will disagree. I mean, we'll always be like, we don't like you and things like that and whatnot. But guess what? When the man wrote his book and said the only friend he has was Tijani, we all got angry again. This is someone we don't like. For someone,
You guys were just
for someone we didn't like,
sickly jealous.
I didn't know
of
when,
my
listen,
hero.
when the book came out.
Because you wanted your name to be written there.
When the book came
You're
out,
a friend of Tijani, but
when
this
the book
time,
came out,
why not me?
listen, when the book came out,
Shame on you people.
Ima, you don't see Oliseh book. You know, so Oliseh talks in only Baba. Can you imagine? You see that Yaya Oliseh, it's only Tijani Babangida being friend. And we didn't like the guy, but we had a problem. But we had a problem. He mentioned someone as his friend.
Ima, don't kill me.
You guys are petty. You guys are petty.
No, listen, you know,
Honestly.
Look, Babangida, it's not as if, maybe I said it wrongly, but Babangida was, and is like a brother to me. Why? The man is an Hausa man. No?
Yep.
And I'm a Delta man. With Baba, if Baba has a problem that is emotional, that is hard, family, me and Baba in the room, we followed it together. He was having some hard times, I was there for him. When I didn't feel good, Baba was there for me. Baba was one of the few players that used to come to my house to eat. You know, and if I'm not feeling good, Baba is the first.
You shared a lot.
Yeah. And you see that thing when you say, when I tell people, hey, it's enough, if they stop. Huh?
Yeah.
Baba, when we're playing in Ajax, if something's going on and I'm not angry, Baba is one of them. One name, leave her. And I will leave it. Because I know Baba has seen something I've not seen. You know, he was like a brother to me, and he still is, you know. Like now, sometimes, we don't talk much, but when we start, sometimes me and Baba 1.5 hours on the telephone. My wife will say, phone bill, I'll say, it's WhatsApp, you know, just like that. So, you know, and my wife likes him. My wife likes Baba a lot, you know. They get along
well, he's a likable guy, you know, he's a very funny guy. He's,
yeah.
you know, he lets things go.
But you now, it's my turn to attack you now. I never knew you could be so mature.
This is my show.
Yeah, I never knew you could be so mature.
This is my show. Don't treat me like some kid now. This is my show.
No, you are so mature and so pleasant to be with now. Totally not comparable to 96.
You know something? There's something you said. There's something I said the very day we met.
Yeah.
For the first time in a long time, and then you now said something.
I was pleased,
afterward.
man. I was pleased.
Listen, when I shook hands and I hugged him, no, I shook his hand. He hugged me instead. I sat down for some seconds and I looked at him and I tapped onto him and I said to him, you know something?
Yeah.
I never thought I'll ever say this in this lifetime. Wow. But boy, am I glad to see you. I was honestly and genuinely glad. And do you know what he said to me afterwards? He said, because we're more matured now. We're not
old now.
I agree.
He said, we're not old now, you know? And that's very true. You know, the way you think way back then, because then
Yeah.
You saw things from a very narrow perspective.
And very competitive.
Yeah.
Everything was competition to you.
No, but there was one thing that was sacrosanct. Victory for Nigeria.
For Nigeria, yeah, God bless you.
Period.
That was true.
Period.
That was true. That was true.
We had that then.
That was true.
We could fight, we could hate. I mean, he just said something about Dosu, and you saw I carried the grudge until this moment. But guess what? I and Dosu, ask him, still remained best friends.
But there was something you did also to Dosu, that in the room, Dosu almost was in tears. And I will tell you today.
Please tell me.
I
never thought I'd ever done wrong to him.
It was the semifinals. No, you didn't do wrong.
Okay.
On the contrary, you did right.
Ah, okay. Because I know I've always loved him.
It was the semifinals. You remember that it was one of the goals that looked as if maybe Dosu had
Yeah, that looked so.
He built it.
Yeah.
No.
That's what we got. He spilled the ball.
Who was the first person in the dressing room who gave him hey, it's okay, keep it up.
No, but
Answer now.
I don't answer now. Indirect answer now.
No. Give direct answer.
Well, that was me, right?
And when
It's your competition.
yeah, and when I saw it in the dressing room, we got to the dressing room and I told him, I said, my man, respect for what you do. Those who had tears in his eyes. Those who said, the moment when the guy comes support me, man, I feel sad to go die there because I need to earn the fact saying in the bench. And Dosu learned a lot also from the mentality I learned from the Italian time in Italy, We have to die together as a team. And I told him, my man, I know so you the player, but we are all brothers. The guy had tears in his eyes. Maybe he cried because after I went in the shower, but I don't know. But
Dosu was my brother,
it really pushed him.
You need to ask Dosu something as well. He will tell you this. I came before him and I said to him, listen, my brother, naturally as a human being and as a competitive player who knows his worth, I feel I should be there, but you got it. I want you to understand something. That sentiment will, ask him this, he will tell you.
Okay.
I said to him, that sentiment will always be there.
Yeah, I want it.
But guess what? I will never, ever, ever, and I swore to it before him, ask him, I will never do anything to jeopardize you or to bring you down, because you know what? It's about Nigeria.
Yeah.
Do you know the first person who told me this?
No.
Celestine.
Babayaro.
Yes, my brother. When I was not in the, I was first to know I was not in the lineup for the first match, even before the lineup was called, because Joe Bonfere called me privately to his room to tell me he was not going to play me. He wanted to play Dosu instead. For reasons best known to him, I fought him. I shouted and I insulted him when I walked out, and I went to the room and I started lamenting and telling my brother, can you imagine? See what Oliseh don't do, they don't go connive, blah, 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 blah. But you know what, Celestine? Do you know, I call your name, suppose I must call your name. Like,
Why
did you face? I must call your name now.
My heroes,
I wonder.
But do you know what Celestine said to me? Before God, Celestine said to me, he said, you know what? I hope you know say it's all about Nigeria. And anything where all of us go get, we will get them together.
Celestine is one of a kind.
That's what he said to me.
Well, is one
and that was when he said to me, he said, you need to go and sit with Dosu. You need to let Dosu know this. And I asked Dosu, he would tell me. I sat with him. Every single match Nigeria we played at the Olympics, I and Dosu sat down to do our analysis of every single match. I'm sure he must have told you.
Yeah, you know that time we don't get goalkeeper coach.
Exactly, we don't get goalkeeper coach. I became like the goalkeeper coach actually. I would analyze every game.
But now we can talk about it. We were broke.
No.
Nigerian football have always been broke.
No, not like that.
Listen, Sunday.
We pack our bags and we leave.
This is inspiring.
Thanks, man.
This is very, very inspiring. I don't know if this is the first time a Nigerian player, but in contemporary time, I think this is the first time, and this is very inspiring. One of the most beautiful things about your book is it's also entertaining in content and in literacy as well.
Thank you.
So very, very big well done to you. Maybe when I grow up, I want to be like you.
I beg you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for blessing us with your presence. We are hoping that sometime soon we'll have you back here again. It was an opportunity that you were in Nigeria.
Thanks. Yeah.
By the way, guys, we're in his hotel room. The man is lounging. And after this, I think I'm going to get a sumptuous meal from you, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all good.
As long as it's African food.
So Sunday, this is what I'm going to say. There's so many parts to you, and not just because you're my idol, but I think that this show on its own haven't done justice to a lot of the things that I would love to ask you and a lot of people would love to ask you. You're going to honestly promise that you will give us a chance to do part 2 of this one. Because you just said you're not going to write this book again. No. It's your son that will write. No. But can you guarantee us that we're going to do part 2 of having you on the special vehicle?
Interactively then?
Yeah.
I can join in from abroad.
Yeah, sure, we could.
Anywhere, no problem.
Okay. It's not called special delivery for nothing.
Then
it's not called special delivery for nothing.
Then I would promise. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Because I can't promise you I'll come here. So
now, if you want us to fly you in, we'll fly you in. But we can do you on.
Hey, come on, man! You're with the Godfather now. Come on,
I like financial discipline.
I'm so surprised.
We can do it remotely.
Do you know something? You've actually changed. Because I'm so surprised you've not said anything about me being the Godfather. I'm surprised. When did you become the Godfather and tap me on the head?
No, he's letting you have your flower. Because a lot of things have happened since football.
That time we were young men. You're old man now like me. You are a father now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my brother. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.